Julie, when you hear that there are some 90, I mean, it sounds like almost still 95,000 or 94 more plus thousand photos still to be released, what do you make? I mean, that's a huge amount.
Well, they probably encompass quite a number of years. When he was doing his sex trafficking in Palm Beach, we know from my interviews with those victims that Ghislaine Maxwell, his accomplice, was taking a lot of photographs of those underage girls. They had reported that they were instructed at several points to pose provocatively in various stages of undress. And part of it sometimes was just to give Jeffrey a present, a birthday present or some kind of a gift with these pictures. She was with a camera all the time. I was told from some of these victims, so it could go back quite a ways. That was 20 years ago. So, and the police, by the way, when they raided his home back in 2005, his computers were already pulled out. In other words, he was tipped off. So they never got their hands on the photographs back then. They never got their hands on his computers, which presumably contained some of these photographs. So it's a long period of time probably that they have this information.
Jessica, why do you think some of the faces were redacted by the committee and others not?
We haven't been provided with a full explanation of that. I mean, that's among the many things that we don't have about the context for these photographs. I think the implication is that these may be redactions to protect the privacy of the survivors. We know that that is something that Congress is appropriately concerned about, and that the Department of Justice under the Epstein Transparency Act is permitted to make redactions for, but there hasn't been a clear statement.
And they have not said these faces are redacted because they are survivors.
That's my understanding. That certainly was not put out with the photographs, to my understanding thus far. But again, we don't have so much of the context for these photographs. We don't have the dates on which they were taken. We don't have where they were taken or information about what was happening at the moment when the photographs were taken sort of outside of the frame.
Right. I mean, some of these could be, public events that the people are just being photographed with, to the point that the president made. I mean, I think it's a fair point. Many people had photographs of Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. We need a clear statement from Congress about why they're making the redactions that they are, and more context to be able to appreciate the significance of these photographs that were released today.
Julie, the Department of Justice has a deadline, December 19th, to release the documents, as you well know, that it has in possession. Do you think they'll meet that deadline? And how much redaction? I mean, I guess there's no way to know what Pam Bondi's going to do and what kind of instructions she's following. But what's your hope, or what's your sense?
Well, I think that they are obviously going to have to release something. It's just a question of how much it's going to be redacted, or how much they're going to withhold on the grounds that now, as you know, the president announced that they were going to do an investigation into Democrats. So that's an open criminal investigation. So they could use that as a reason to not turn over some of this material. But what I will say is the good part about the whole thing, there are two good pieces of good news on this, and that is that the Oversight Committee, quite frankly, is getting more information than I think is contained in the Justice Department files. I've always felt that the Justice Department really didn't investigate this case thoroughly from the very beginning. So we're probably getting more information from them, number one. And number two, we have the victims, and more of them are talking and coming out every single day. And they know what happened, and they are talking. And, it would behoove the FBI, for example, to start talking to some of these women and to really find out what Epstein was doing and who was involved and who was helping him.
And Julie, you're saying the committee's getting more information. Is that because they're getting it from the Epstein estate?
Yes, the Epstein estate is turning over. Like I said, I know, for example, when the investigation was in Palm Beach, they didn't get these photographs. They didn't get anything from his computer. So they're getting more information probably now than before, number one. And number two, we could compare it to what the Justice Department is going to turn over. For example, if the Justice Department says we didn't get anything on his computers, we know for a fact now that there was information on his computers.
If you liked the video, do like, comment, share, and subscribe.